if you follow what the agenda is of the elite, we all know that these occultists are pulled from Freemasonry. That is where they're getting their disciples, their pupils of darkness from. Okay, that Freemasonry is being used as the tool for manipulation and control. Well, what is Freemasonry? More importantly, what is English Freemasonry? Because if you watch the series Ephraim and Manasseh, you'll find out that Ephraim represents English, Egyptian, Freemasonic knowledge. You know, Ephraim gets his descendancy from Egypt. And then, of course, now this Egyptian symbolism, this mystery religion is being injected into the concept, into the traditions, into the entire world system. And it's all being done through the efforts of Ephraim. So if we want to look at the symbolism for Freemasonic knowledge, one of the main themes that you see, one of the main understandings, is this checkerboard floor. And this is going to relate back to what we were just talking about, where, you know, the knowledge was divided and only the material was given to the masses. But the spiritual knowledge was given, even though it was deceptive spiritual knowledge, knowledge of the spiritual was still given to these family bloodlines that they foreknew in advance they needed to create so that they could use them to control the world. Of course, because they weren't going to be allowed on the surface for much longer, they needed to create a descendancy of humans that do their bidding. And of course, this is where we get the symbolism for these descendants of these Egyptian bloodlines, Ephraim and Manasseh. So now Ephraim fulfills the role of English Egyptian Freemasonry, and now their symbol is what? The checkerboard. What is the checkerboard? Light and dark. In other words, material and spirit. That's exactly it. Now I told you that these bloodline families, of course, now we being seen symbolized using all of this Egyptian iconography, all of this ancient mystery religion theology. They are showing you that they are in possession of both forms of knowledge, both the light and the dark. And that's what the checkerboard tells you. That yes, Ephraim does mean to pasture land, that they have knowledge both of the material and the spiritual. But they only offer this knowledge, darkened knowledge, the material darkened facts, to the masses, while they themselves are using the spiritual knowledge. And of course, it's breaking down into 4 dimensions. We, of course, have religion and the arts, and then we have science and mathematics. We have the material, then we have the spiritual. Those break down to the 2 hemispheres of the brain, which are showing you the same symbolism between these checkerboard Freemasonic squares. Now, to tie all this up even further, okay, let's think about something that was described in Lucifer's fall. It describes this fallen being being cast out. And as he's being cast out of heaven, Christ describes him as falling like lightning from heaven. Now, this lightning is going to represent his crooked path. And you're going to see that further symbolized in the Bible and other places, that it's described that they walk this crooked path. Well, this crooked path being symbolized by this lightning, of course, perfect symbolism for this crooked path. Well, if you take this crooked path from both sides they walk, from both the material, okay, and then the spiritual, all right, first you have the crooked path which forms the lightning bolt. This is the division that takes place. Remember in the pet goat video, there's a symbolism between the lightning and the 2 portions of the brain? It's no accident. They're telling you the same thing I'm telling you. But when you take 2 forms of these crooked paths, one material, one spiritual, what happens? You start forming the hourglass. Over and over again, you get this hourglass. This hourglass ends up forming what? 8. The control of time, the symbolism for infinity. But the symbolism for the control of time, of course, we're going to find out that that's what the spider's web means. I'll be back.